Welcome to Paramecia, a One Piece fancast where we read the latest chapter and discuss relevant theories every week. My name is Franz.
My name is John.
And this week, there's no chapter to our knowledge from what we saw on the internet. And we saw that chapter 889 is coming out on Christmas, so right now we're just jerking off, and
Yay.
What we're gonna do, yeah, woo! What we're gonna do this week is we're gonna discuss Wano. What is it? What's it all about? What's gonna happen, etc. And we're gonna discuss what we think is gonna happen, who we think is gonna show up, and so let's start off with John. I've never read a single fucking page of this manga. What the hell is Wano?
Alright, so Wano Kuni, the first mention of it, I believe, is Vegapunk. The Vegapunk Island arc.
You fucking weeb.
Yes. Well, no, because that's where they meet Kinemon. And I'm pretty sure he states that he's from Wano. But yeah, since Vegapunk throughout Dressrosa, and then now Zoe and where we are right now, Whole Cake Island, we've gotten little hints here and there as to what's going on in Wano. So all we know right now is that Wano is under the control of the Shogun. And the Shogun is the guy who killed... Well, the Shogun is the guy who took over Wano after Kaido killed Momonosuke's father. The Udon or something his name is.
Let me fact check that for you.
Yeah, quick fact check. It's something with noodle.
Oden.
Yeah, Oden. Okay.
Yeah, Kozuki Oden.
Yeah. So Lord Oden was the original. He was the original ruler of Wano country before Kaido killed him under the Shogun's rule. That's the pretty popular theory. I think it was kind of confirmed. I can't remember if it was confirmed or not. All I know is that the Shogun and Kaido are in cahoots, and they're the ones who killed Lord Oden and took over, and they closed off the country's borders. And that's a really big... That's the main plot point that we're told through Kinemon and Momonosuke, is that their ultimate goal is to defeat the Shogun and open the borders to Wano. Because they're closed off from the world right now because the Shogun and Kaido are, I don't know, fucking jerking each other off and making fake devil fruits. So yeah, we are going there. The Straw Hats are going to Wano because... When Law and Luffy teamed up, Law's team up was originally to defeat Doflamingo, but he went into it knowing that defeating Doflamingo would mean cutting off Kaido's supply to Devil Fruits, which would also mean that no matter what happened after defeating Doflamingo, they would have to fight Kaido. That confrontation would have to happen because he would be pissed at them.
It's inevitable.
Yeah, he would be pissed at them for taking his Smile Devil Fruits away. So that was bound to happen. Really, other than that, that's all we know. I mean, we have some little tidbits here and there, we know that, what's his face? God. Gecko Moria. We know Gecko Moria had a run-in with Kaido and got his ass beat in Wano.
That's true.
A long-ass time ago. That's how Gecko Moria got Ryonosuke, I think? I can't remember his name. The legendary swordsman from Wano. From the one-shot monster from Oda.
Ryuma.
Yeah, Ryuma, yeah. That's how he got Ryuma onto his, that's how he got Ryuma's body and the legendary sword that Zoro now has.
Dude, his Ryuma's, entry on the One Piece wiki fucked me up because, Ryuma is a canon character that happened, he's from a story that was written before One Piece.
Yeah, he's from Monsters, I believe, the one-shot. Yeah.
It was a series of one-shots and whatnot, and this motherfucker straight up just looks like Zoro with black hair.
Yeah.
And so when I look, I'm like, that's just fucking Bobo-ass Zoro, dollar store Zoro. As an aside, I do want to bring up some trivia, I guess, about Wano country. Stuff that's very well known in the fandom, but still deserves being mentioned time and time again because it is a pretty prevalent and like important part of the lore that's coming up is that Wano is basically just a representation of feudal Japan.
Yeah.
Specifically around their like closed borders period, known as Sakoku. It was a time in which the shogunate and like, babe, was it a shogunate?
Yes.
Right? Okay.
It was Tokugawa.
Thank you. The Tokugawa shogunate, they were sitting there and they were like, yeah, there were a lot of things that led up to the decision to close off the country, like the Christians coming in, like trying to convert like some fucking prefectures.
That was during Sakoku.
Was that during Sakoku?
Actually, you might be right. That was before Sakoku.
I thought Shimabara was like slightly before.
That was probably before. Yeah.
Whatever. So like that's one thing, and then there's like the Dutch and like everyone's like coming in. This is like high peak colonialism, so all the Europeans are coming in. And so Wano's just like, yeah, actually, fuck that.
Yeah.
Wano, I mean, Japan.
Yeah, Wano.
And so during this period, the shogunate basically there were shogunates before this, but this is the time where the shogunate had absolute and complete power. And so he was basically just like controlling all the other the daimyo in the area, the like prefectural leaders. He had them all under like constant control. So
it was just a time of like extreme untrust.
Yeah, a time of extreme distrust. Distrust. And like no one really liked the shogun, kind of. Like a lot of the daimyo didn't, because it was just like, wow, you're a bitch, fuck you for fucking me. So it's a lot of these like very specific dynamics that happened during Sakoku time in like Edo period Japan might be reflected in the Wano arc.
Yeah,
so
definitely the parallel is there. Like,
oh yeah, no, 100%. Especially like in like literally fucking everything. Like this is Edo period was the last time that the samurai were even fucking relevant, so that's why they're like really, really fucking like playing into it and everything. And given the time, like we might see like mock-ups of like certain like Edo period historical figures, like fucking I don't know, a lot of media likes to like bring up like, oh, this is young Oda Nobunaga. He still doesn't know what he's gonna do, but he's still fucking like Westaboo.
Yeah.
And we might see like Miyamoto Musashi, a philosopher, but mostly known amongst weebs for being a really cool guy that was a dumbass and wielded 2 swords, but it worked out for him.
Yeah.
So that might play into like Zoro's whole thing as well. So yeah, there's a shit ton of parallels that can happen based off of that, but
yeah, definitely. We'll have to wait and see, but yeah, you mentioned Zoro, and I guess I just we'll jump straight into the known players that are gonna be in Wano right now. I have them separated into factions, and we can just go through them.
Yeah.
Go through one by one which faction, and then if we need to like deep dive into specific characters that are important, we'll do that. So, I mean, obviously the first one is the Straw Hats are going to be there. Like, it's the Straw, yeah, no, they're not going to be on boys. Yeah, and specifically Zoro, because everybody, I mean, rightfully so, everybody knows that this is going to be a big arc for Zoro in some way.
Yeah, because there was the whole thing about Ryuma and his sword, and he said, like there's a lot of mentions about the sword and taking it back to Wano.
Yeah, even
especially like when they met Kinemon and stuff.
Yeah, Kinemon and God, the guy from Dressrosa, they were like angry at first when they saw Zoro with the sword. They're like, "Why do you have, the national treasure of Wano? Like, what the fuck? Give it back."
Oh.
And I feel like I feel like that's gonna play an important role going into Wano, because of who Ryuma was. Like, because of Monsters being... Like, Monsters is canon, I would like to say, to One Piece, since Ryuma was introduced in the sword. And in Monsters, Ryuma, like, saves his home country from a giant dragon by, like, cutting its head off with the sword. And I would like to think that, like, I think somebody is going to end up having a dragon devil fruit or something, and I feel like Zoro's going to be the one to take him out. I don't know who that's going to be.
It might be X-Drake.
Oh, maybe
like,
it's X-Drake.
We do have, like, mythical, like, zone fruits and everything, but,
Yeah.
like, a dinosaur or a dragon, it's the same thing.
The only other idea would be, the idea that I have is, Luffy and everybody else are going to be fighting Kaido. Like, Kaido's their main, their main antagonist, but the Shogun is the one, like, with an iron grasp on Wano Kuni as a whole. And I feel like if any, like, it would be a really cool parallel to have Zoro fight the Shogun and have the Shogun have, like, a dragon devil fruit. And then, like, Zoro with Ryuma's sword, like, repeats history, basically, and, like, kills the dragon and ends up, saving Wano, because now the Shogun is dead.
That would be really cool to see. I mean, like, just basing this off of, like, the historical parallel, I don't think that, like, they'll really, like, fight the Shogun, but, like, there might be some, like, symbology there as well, like, with just, like, like, maybe the Shogun's always wearing, like, dragon motifs or something, like...
Oh, yeah, that could also happen.
Because usually, like, oftentimes the Shoguns, while they did have some power at some point, most of the time they're just, like, sitting around all fucking day.
Yeah.
So they're kind of just... the fighting's not their thing.
Yeah.
But...
regardless, like, yeah.
I do want to see some heads roll.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, I feel like Zoro just with the legendary, with Ryuma's sword is already going to have a story arc all to his own in Wano.
Yeah.
And I would also like to see, I mean, again, I don't know if it'll happen, but I would like to see maybe more cursed swords or more of the named swords, because I feel like this would be the perfect place to get more named swords into the story, because they were a big deal pre-time skip. Like, Tashigi made a big deal, and, like, we saw a couple of them, and then after the time skip, like, we haven't seen anything. I think the first named sword we've seen has been the big mom daughter, the tall, the slender man looking one.
Oh yeah. So,
like, she was the one that had the first name sword that I remember seeing in a while.
I'm glad that you brought that up, because within, like, Japanese lore, there is the quote-unquote imperial regalia. It's 3 pieces of fucking, like, 3 important pieces of stuff that, like... Wow, this is a very shitty description. 3 things that have, like,
yeah.
certain specific, like, meanings. And so one of them is a sword. The sword's called Kusanagi. The other is... I mean, John, you've played Okami. These are...
Okay,
like,
yeah. Okay, yeah.
The shield, or... it's not a shield, it's a mirror. I'm dumb.
The mirror and then the yeah.
Yeah, and so, like... These things are all, like, gifts from Amaterasu or something. And, yeah, they were passed down by the first emperor. And, so, it might play some role into it. Like, the sword might be one of the Imperial Regalia in Wano. And then there might be a mirror and there might be a jewel.
Yeah, I can see that.
I could also see that, like, there are 2 other swords that represent those regalia and
the
everything.
other ones, yeah.
And so, like, I would really, really love to see that. I don't necessarily fucking know, like, much else about, these artifacts.
Yeah,
other than, like, no
exist.
one's really seen them. They just are.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, like, they're real, but they're fucking somewhere in Tokyo, I think. Or Lord fucking knows. It's Area 51 of Japan.
Yeah.
That's where that shit's at.
Yeah.
So,
regardless, yeah, it's... I feel like that because they're so important, that could play a role. I feel like if Oda does anything with that idea, he would tie it to the swords that Zoro has or like something.
Ooh, that would be really good. Like, before how they'd make the reference that Zoro looked like a demon with 9 swords and everything. Maybe they'd make a reference to like, oh, he looks like he's wielding the 3 regalia or some shit. Like, that might be some line that's like thrown in there or something. So you never know.
I mean that's pretty much everything with Zoro. Zoro, it's speculation, but like he will play some sort of big role because he has Ryuma's sword. That's
because he's
pretty
a
much
samurai.
Yeah, because he's a samurai. And he's gonna awaken his Sharingan.
Oh goodness, no.
So I'll just move on to the next group the next 2 groups because they're coming in at the same time, from what we know, and that's the Mink tribe and the remnants of the Whitebeard pirates, led by Marco.
Yeah.
When we left Zou, they said the battle plan. They said they're like after they get Sanji, they're all gonna meet back on Wano. Like they're not meeting anywhere else. They're going straight to Wano. And Ino Arashi and Nekomamushi, like they left or I don't know if both of them left at the same time. One of them left to go find Marco for sure.
Yeah.
I think both of them might have. I'm iffy on it right now, but regardless, one of them left to go find Marco and recruit the remnants of the Whitebeard pirates to help them fight against Kaido. That's gonna be. I mean, God, that's gonna be sick for 2 reasons. I mean, the first main reason is that we haven't seen Marco or any of the Whitebeard pirates since like Marineford, and that's gonna be super cool to see Marco again. Like to see all of them, but Marco specifically post time skip, like how he looks, if he has any scars from the payback war between the Whitebeard and the Blackbeard pirates, because that.
Shit.
We don't even know, like, we know that happened, but we don't know the extent of the damage, So that's gonna be crazy. And also, for the second reason is for the Minks, now that we know that they have this power-up, the Sulong that Carrot used in the last chapter.
Oh,
yeah. Now that they can all go Carrot
goodness.
Blanco, like, I would like to see Ino Arashi and Nekomamushi go into their Blanco forms and just wreck shit.
That would be on par with like Night Guy versus Madara.
Yeah. I would like to see them fight like one of the calamities and just, beat it. Like I want to see them go like Verde and Rojo and just destroy them. They're an interesting one just because obviously we know now that they have the power up, but then they know, like, all the Minks, they know a lot of players from One Piece that we don't know anything about. Like, they've met and have traveled with Roger. They knew Lord Odin. Like, they know all these people, and they knew Whitebeard. And so having them bring back Marco, I think is going to have some really, like, I think there's going to be some really cool, there's going to be a really fun dynamic between them and Marco, because I feel like they already have, they already know each other.
Yeah. More on the, I guess, like, I'm the fucking weeb correspondent this episode.
Yeah.
With the help of my lovely girlfriend here.
Hell yeah.
There's, so Marco's fruit is the Phoenix, and that also plays along with a lot of early-ish Japanese feudal and imperial symbology and imagery we all know because of the fucking Pokemon Ho-Oh, otherwise known as the fucking Chinese Fenhuang or whatever. I don't speak Chinese. Like, just putting that out there. So it's one of 4 sacred creatures. Others being a winged dragon, which is ostensibly dead. The holy turtle, which I want it to be, if this is even a thing, I want it to be Peckham's. And the mythological creature Kirin, which, the year 2017, we know it's just a fucking giraffe.
Yeah, shout outs to Monster Hunter.
It's a dragon thing. Yeah, no, it's a fucking giraffe. Don't at me. It's a giraffe.
Yeah.
So there might be something there as well. Like it might be like some kind of like Clash of the Titans kind of thing going on.
Yeah. I would definitely like. I think it'd be cool if they're powered up. Like if their Sulong forms were based off of that. Like,
that would be so
like
good.
they took those forms and then like paired with the Phoenix. They make 3 of the 4. That'd be pretty sick.
Yeah, no, it'd be really cool because like I don't know, for in my eyes, Marco is definitely the important person in that whole thing. Not even like I think it was Nekomumushi that went to like go get him. Like Marco is the important person there for sure.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Marco is like, because he's the new captain of the Whitebeard Pirates, or what's left of them.
Yeah,
and we've seen his devil fruit, like the mythical zone, but we haven't seen him go, full out
ape shit.
Yeah. we haven't seen him go nuts, especially after the time skip and in New World. We haven't seen him fight anything, so I think it's gonna be really cool to see him come back, and if he gets a fight, the fan base is gonna nut because he's gonna go ham. Yeah, those 2 groups, they're kind of paired up and they're going to be coming at the same time, I assume. So that's going to be cool. The next group I have here is, they're kind of tied into each other. So I wrote the Heart Pirates, but then just even broader than that, the 12 Supernova. We don't know if all of them are going to be there, but at least a lot of them are going to be there.
Yeah, no, it's going to be a lot because there's Luffy, there's Zoro, there's Law there already. I don't think the Fire Tank Pirates are gonna go there. Like I don't think it's gonna be relevant.
I don't know if they're gonna go there.
The possibilities there.
Yeah.
Either way, there's also X Drake is inherently allied with Kaido.
Yeah.
And then there is the people that got fucked up by Kaido. Fucking
yeah.
The piano teeth.
Yeah,
man.
Scratch Man Apu.
Yeah. And Eugene was there, and I think he got his arm ripped off or something. I don't remember.
Yeah, Kid. Last we saw Kid, he was in a jail cell with a shadow, like a bloody shadow over where his arm was. We can only assume that Kaido fucked him up, because Kaido did land on his fleet. So
there's also like 2 supernovas that were there that I just didn't mention because I don't remember at the time. So that's honestly like too fucking many of them.
Yeah, it's the killer and the other guy who can read. Oh, I found it. Hawkins, Killer and Hawkins are there.
Yeah.
And then Scratchman Apu is... Yeah, so I have a list of them. So, Luffy, Law, Zoro, Scratchman Apu, Hawkins, Killer, X-Drake. Like, that's 7 of them already, and there's 12 of them.
It's 7 out of 12, Jesus fucking Christ.
The other ones that are remaining that I didn't name are Beige, Bonnie, Rouge, and Blackbeard. In terms of coming into the story, I think Blackbeard's the least likely, although there is
wild card.
Yeah, there is a chance. I mean, there is the theory, the Cerberus theory that like Blackbeard's gonna get, because Blackbeard's whole motif, his pirate, his Jolly Roger, like everything about him is grouped in 3. Like there's the number 3 is really prevalent with him. Yeah. So there's a popular theory online that like he already has a Logia, the Yami Yami no Mi, and then he has a Paramecia with the Quake. So people think that he is trying to get... Yeah. People think he's trying to get a Zoan, and what better Zoan to get than a mythical Zoan that Kaido has? And it's like, and Kaido can't die. Or Kaido, like, apparently can't die, but what's the only thing that would be able to kill Kaido? Something that could nullify his devil fruit. Yeah. So I mean, that's a theory that's floating around. That's a theory that's floating around. It could happen, but it's that's up in the air. Beige, I mean, he's with Luffy right now, so that, I mean, I don't know. He could appear. You know, it's not.
He could.
It's not
I would say
completely.
it's a 50-50, yeah.
Yeah. Arouge is another one that I think could appear because he took out Commander Snack from Big Mom's army. Like he took out one of the Sweet Commanders, and he was the one who watched Kaido jump off of the Sky Island onto Kid's ship. Yeah, that's
true.
So Arouge is already like he was there to watch Kid and them get fucked up. Like he's just in a cloud watching. Like, man, you guys are getting fucked up. So he's another one that's kind of high possibility. Bonnie's the last one, and I don't know.
I'm selfish. I want Bonnie.
Yeah,
I want Bonnie.
Yeah,
but I know.
I feel I 100% agree. I don't know any sort of motivation she would have to go to Wano, but I just want her there. Like she's such an interesting character, and
I miss her. Where is she?
Yeah, I just want her in there. But yeah, I feel like this arc, like when we get to Wano, again, the big players, I think it's gonna boil down to, at the end of the day, it's gonna boil down to like, I feel like the Supernova might take like the biggest, they might take the spotlight in this arc going forward, because
that might be it.
They all seemingly have their own different, like, their different sides that they're choosing. Yeah, motivations, different sides. But like, I feel like even at Wano, the majority of them, when they get there, Kid and Killer, if Luffy and Law free them, like, and Hawkins, there is no way that they're gonna continue to like try to work with Kaido. Like
no fucking way.
Like Apu jumped ship because he's a coward and he just doesn't want to die. But like, I don't see any of them, if they see a chance to take down Kaido, I don't see any of them still staying with Kaido. Maybe Drake, but we don't know. I mean, we have to wait to the arc because we don't know enough about Drake's motivations, really.
Exactly. So, I don't know. The numbers are definitely, like, on Luffy's side as far as, like skilled combatants we know.
Yeah,
that doesn't, like, consider combatants we don't know.
So, yeah, I mean, the 12 Supernova...
most of them are coming.
Yeah. 7 out of 12, they're coming. Or 7 out of 11, I can't remember the number, and I'm fucking up. And I'm gonna look like a fucking scrub.
You and me too, because I can't correct you.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much...
Who's next?
I think that's everybody that we know of that's going, other than, obviously, the Kaido pirates. Like, obviously, Kaido and his gifters and the...
And the people that are already in Wano.
Yeah, and a lot of the warriors, we're probably gonna see... in the same vein as like Rebecca, or like in the same vein as like a lot of the gladiators, I feel like we're going to get a lot of original characters for Wano that are going to team up with us simply because, you know, they want to like free their homeland from the Shogun.
Yeah, both on like the Wano side, we're going to be introduced to new minks as well, like without a doubt.
Yeah, without a doubt.
We'll also be introduced to like fucking bunch of like meatheads like Jack.
Yeah.
That fucking came on.
Yeah,
like,
we're
all of a sudden.
I'm excited to see the other calamities that Kaido has, because we saw Jack, and Jack did I don't know how much damage, and people are thinking like, I've heard murmurs like, dude, like, you know, as crazy as Jack was, what if he's like the cracker? What if he's like the lowest one of the three, and he did that much damage? Like that would be insane.
It could be a possibility. Like,
yeah.
I mean, not Wano. Kaido's got this whole hierarchy on, like, his entire fleet is only zone fruit users. And there's definitely a hierarchy on, like, what animal you are, per se. Especially putting an emphasis on those that are mythological Zoan creatures.
Yeah. So I've seen some people talk about it. Like, yeah, like you said, there's definitely a hierarchy that we see, and from what I can tell, some of this is kind of speculative because again, we don't know X Drake. Like, we don't know X Drake's standing within the Kaido pirate, the Kaido's beast pirates.
Yeah,
but we definitely know like the lower tier, like the fodder, the scrubs, like his mass army. Are the gifters. They all have the manufactured devil fruits.
Yeah.
So they're like on the bottom, and then the next level we see is the Calamities. That's with Jack and 2 others that we don't know of. People are speculating that Drake could be one, only because if we're going by this hierarchy based on Zoan fruits, so Jack has the ancient Zoan for the mammoth, so everybody's thinking, okay, like, Drake has an ancient Zoan for the T-Rex. Like, if the Calamity tier is ancient Zoans, then maybe X-Drake is a Calamity, and that would be wild to me, because, like, that would mean he's super powerful.
Yeah, no, that would really put him up there. I mean, it could also be a kind of thing, like, it's only been ostensibly like a year or so since he joined the Kaido's Pirates.
Yeah.
So he might be like working up to be a Calamity, which is still a huge thing in and of itself. Yeah, don't get me wrong.
He's in a Calamity internship program.
That's exactly it. Do you think he gets paid?
He gets paid in experience.
Yeah. And with a very good thing to put on his resume.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it for people that we know are going to be there.
Let's get into people that we think are going to be there.
Yeah, I have a couple. I'll let you go first, because I'm interested to see who, like, there's probably going to be some overlap, but I'm interested to see if there's any, like, anybody outside of what I thought of.
I don't have too many people, because, like, I don't know. It didn't really come to me, but at the same time, like, I'm pretty, like, confident that some of these people will at least show up. So, first, I already mentioned that there's going to be new minks. That was, like, one thing on my list. It's still going to be very interesting to see that. The Heart Pirates. A lot of them are still on Zoe, but I didn't remember if they went with the Straw Hats or not. Maybe they could help.
Yeah,
this is something that I'm on the fence about, though.
They're going to Wano.
Oh, okay.
Because it's Law and the Heart Pirates, and he's with Zoro. He's with the Dressrosa crew minus Luffy, and they were going to Wano first. So yeah, okay. They're gonna be there.
All right. Next on my list. So we had mentioned before that the the Navy, whatever she might be, I don't remember the rank.
Admiral Greenbull.
Yeah. Admiral Greenbull.
Yeah, she was on my list.
Yeah. So she's gonna show up. We know that. Like,
yeah.
I feel like that's a bona fide fact.
Yeah. Yeah.
So who I want to show up with her, I was like thinking, like, would Fujitora also show up? Maybe he has a sword or something, but I wouldn't see why they would send 2 admirals. It would seem like excessive. So I'm thinking it's high time we see Smoker and Tashigi again.
Dude, yes. Yeah, I am 1,000% on board.
Because Tashigi is super into swords and everything. I mean, Smoker, I guess you could call that thing a sword.
That thing. Like half a fork.
They might play into this and everything. She might... I mean, unfortunately, as much as we love her as a character, her entire purpose in One Piece is to introduce, like, named swords.
Yeah.
To just be like, hey, that's that sword that you didn't know about, audience member. I'm telling you directly, not really Zoro.
Yeah, I think that's I hope, because that's really cool. I feel like, God, if they appear, then that is the perfect segue, either during Wano or after, to meet Vegapunk.
Oh,
because we know, we don't know if they've made it there yet, obviously, but after, like, during the events of Dressrosa, like, after Dressrosa ended, we saw Smoker and Tashigi taking the children, and they were confirmed going to Vegapunk's location to have him check out the children, like, to help them.
Yeah.
And it would just be so fucking cool, like, to get to see them again, like, because Tashigi would put in work, and I feel like maybe we would finally find out, like, hey, she didn't actually fall down the stairs. It was Tashigi the whole time.
Man, Don't get me fucking started on that. She just fell down some goddamn stairs.
That's how they're gonna
died.
take
That
out
was his
Kaido.
fucking dumb best.
Just throw him down some stairs.
And that's the crack theory. Good night.
Yeah.
See you guys. Have a great weekend.
Have a great fucking week. No, but I think it'd be cool to have Tashigi there for more Zoro interactions, but also to just get to see, like, there's gonna be a ton of named swords, and maybe we see, like, you know, the blacksmith who made those swords has gotta be on Wano, and it's like, oh, it's so crazy.
That would be a reference to
Muramasa?
Muramasa.
Yeah.
That's the one. The like ancient swordsmith that made like a bajillion cursed swords or something.
Yeah.
Shows up in like every fucking everything. He's in everything.
Yeah.
So my last pick for this fantasy football team is the Chinjao family.
Yes, I had them there. I'm glad we're on the same page.
Yup.
Dude.
Because I remembered that they do have a relation to the Wano country. Now, I like to think that it's with the country itself, not with the shogunate, though that's still a possibility, and would not like to see the Straw Hats and the Chinjao family cross again. But
it is.
I need me some of that sweet, sweet Baby 5.
Yeah, the actual best girl in One Piece, Baby 5, is on the Kano Kuni team.
And see, it fits into the whole thing. Is feudal Japan. Baby 5 is made out of guns.
Yeah.
Like, Oda Nobunaga is going to be sitting there and it's like, what are we going to do against samurai? And she's going to have a fucking gun. She is a gun. She's going to shoot someone, and that's going to be it.
It's good. Oh my god. Yep. It's going to be great. I really want, so, real quick, she can turn into, her fruit is to turn into weapons. She can turn into a naginata, that's the long staff with the blade at the end, I think. And Sai uses a naginata. And I'm gonna end that there, because that would be the hypest tag team attack, husband and wife.
Oh my, I'm all for that.
Imbuing his own wife with hockey, like, are you kidding me? All right, yeah, no, it's
you go.
Yeah, no, I'm just gonna say we have like the same list pretty much.
Okay.
I do think that Kanokuni, they have the Chinjao family. They have a really high chance of showing up there, only because they verbatim mentioned that they were a neighboring country to Wano. Like, they're the Wano country's neighbor. So, like, I assume that means they're, you know, fairly close by. Like, not even a day's travel worth or something. Like, they gotta be really close.
It's gotta be a stone's throw kind of thing.
Yeah, and the other thing that kind of gets me thinking that the Chinjao family and Baby 5 will be there is because, or the Happo Navy, that's what they're called.
Yeah.
I think the Happo Navy might show up because at the end of Dressrosa, and then in the lead-up chapter for Reverie, like the tease for Reverie, when we got all the players, when it got to Kanokuni, it showed the guy who we assume is Sai's father, like the guy with the Fu Manchu.
Don Papa.
Yeah, Don Papa. And the advisors in Kano specifically stated that, Don Sai is gonna miss the Reverie, like they're not here yet, like they're late, but we have no time to wait for them, like we have to go. So I'm thinking that, like, if Reverie takes place like before or during Wano, I think that gives the Happo Navy enough time to, like, they make it back home, and then when shit starts hitting the fan and they get word, like, war's broken out in Wano, I feel like they're gonna, if Don Sai and Don Chinjao hear word that Luffy is there, they're gonna go, because
100%.
Yeah.
100%. And, like, man, I really love Don. I love the whole family. Like, the Chinjao family is so good.
God,
do you have anything else in specific?
The only other name, I had two other names on my list, but I can't really deep dive into them, only because, well, okay, so the first one is Shirahoshi, because I still feel like there's a possibility. So, like, a theory I have is, yeah, Kaido has been, since he was introduced, he keeps saying something along the lines of he wants to start the greatest war the world has ever seen. And we know in Caribou's cover story that Caribou got captured by X-Drake. And that leads me to think that, like, Kaido's getting this pompous because he knows that Shirahoshi's an ancient weapon. Because Caribou probably yapped it to him because he's like, oh, please don't kill me. I'll tell you where an ancient weapon is. And so I think if there's a possibility that Reverie could end in Kaido or somebody breaking in and just taking Shirahoshi, and then that's like the lead into Wano. But that's like speculation. I don't even know if that's gonna be, happening or not. But the other,
I don't know. That sounds pretty like there.
Yeah. It's definitely super like in the stars. I just don't know if it's gonna like happen. But the only other name I have on the list was Edward Weevil. Frickin' Whitebeard's quote-unquote son, the new Shishibukai.
Him.
Yeah, we got introduced to him, like, out of nowhere. I think it was, like, after Dressrosa or something.
Fucking, I don't remember shit about him. Hold on.
Yeah, he was a weird one. Like, he thinks that Whitebeard is his father, and he wants to get revenge on Blackbeard. And the mom is definitely not his mom, or if she is, she's a terrible mom because she's like using him and his stupidity to like do her own shit, like what she wants. Yeah, I feel like since Marco and the Whitebeard pirates are gonna have a big presence in Wano, I feel like he could appear because he wants to get revenge on Blackbeard, and I think that if he found the rest of the Whitebeard pirates that were there, like, you know, he would. You know, because, I mean, Edward Weevil, they made him out to be, like... Oda wrote him to seem really stupid, but, like, a lot of his lines when he was talking in the couple chapters that introduced him, like, he knows what happened. He knows about everything that happened at Marineford. Like, he knows about Straw Hat and Whitebeard, like, teaming up to save Ace. And he knew that...
He's not Tweedledum. He's
just... he's just dumb. Yeah, and he knew that Blackbeard was the one that killed Whitebeard. So I think if there's a possibility of him re-entering the story, I think it would be now.
Basically, what we've crafted, like, in our minds, is that the entire Wano arc is going to be WrestleMania.
Yeah.
In that there's going to be two people in the ring, and then someone else comes in the ring, and then someone else comes in the ring, and then some... Like, it's literally the Shogunate and the fucking the people, and then the Straw Hats come into the ring, and then the Heart Pirates come into the ring, and then fucking like Edward Weevil comes into the ring, and Marco comes into the ring, and fucking Last Person Standing wins, and then somebody else cashes Money in the Bank.
Yeah, I was just about to say, I feel like this is WrestleMania, but there's so many people who have just been saving their money in the bank that this is, like, gonna be ridiculous.
At this point, we've mentioned so many people that can show up. I've just blanked. Who else, man?
Dude, I have no idea who else could show up. I mean, the editors, you know, take what they say with a grain of salt, because their job is to hype up the manga. Their job is to, like, want you to suck Oda's dick. But they've said on record, like, multiple of them, like, multiple different editors, and they've said, the Wano arc is going to be the biggest arc since Marineford. And that is wild to me. But it kind of makes sense with, you know, all of the groups that we just mentioned. There's so many players in this arc. It's definitely going to be another long one. But I feel like this one, unlike Dressrosa, I feel like this one has a better chance of, like, not slowing down at any point. Only because there's so many people that we haven't seen in a while, or that we have seen, but we haven't seen, you know, their full potential. Like, there's so many opportunities for people to just shine in Wano. Yeah, that it's like, going to be crazy.
It's going to be a lot less of introducing new people. I mean, we're still going to get new people at the beginning, but it's going to be Dressrosa 2 in that that's literally what it's going to be.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
In that the people from Dressrosa are going to come in and really show what they're made of. And really, like, we know them now, so we're just like, oh, it's that guy, instead of, who the fuck is this guy? Oh, that's this guy, okay. We know them, so they're gonna show up, and it's gonna be like, oh, damn, that's sick as fuck. All right, I'm down for this. We've also got this whole thing in that, like, it's probably not going to split into too many factions and battles and locations and everything. Like, a lot of it seems pretty straightforward in it's literally like one side, several different motivations, but one side, and then the other side. One side has to get to the shogunate. Kaido stands in the way. That's it.
I feel like in terms of Wano, the way it, exactly like you said, like the way it's kind of set up is that they're all on one side and they all have one goal. And so unlike Dressrosa where they split up from the start, I feel like this one's going to start with all of them together and they're going to be slowly splitting off to take care of like different problems that arise. So they're all going to be traveling and then let's say one of the calamities finds them. So then, you know, Nekomamushi and Marco, they split off and they're like, all right, like you guys need to get to the Shogun, like we'll take care of this guy. And then, you know, that'll be happening and then they all meet up, you know, to fight the Shogun and inevitably fight Kaido. Dude, there's so many people. I feel like there's nobody else to mention, so I just want to bring up I want to propose a question to you and then we can end it after this. Cuz it was brought up on a lot of like reviews and videos recently that I've seen. Do you think that Kaido is going to fall at the end of Wano? Like, do you think I guess let me rephrase it. Do you think he's going to die versus do you think he's going to get beaten? I guess that's a better way to put it. Yeah, yeah, dude, it's a brain buster, dude. Yeah, go ahead.
Their whole goal is like the Straw Hats. Their goal is to take down Kaido. The fact that it's helping out Wano country is a very great plus, but the fact of the matter is Kaido is their objective. And so I feel that Kaido can't just be defeated because he has this whole empire around him.
Yeah.
His whole fleet is huge as far as we know. And because of that, like, if you're going to take down the Kaido pirates, you have to kill Kaido, is what I think. How they're going to do it, I have no fucking clue.
Yeah,
I think what you said about Blackbeard might be the most, unfortunately not like reasonable way, but like it can happen.
It makes sense. I feel the same way. I feel like Kaido's going to get defeated. Like he has to be defeated.
Yeah.
There's no way they destroy completely his underground weapons trade and just not defeat him. Like there's no way that they confront each other and either side gets to leave. You know what I'm saying? Like Kaido hates them. Kaido wants them dead, and they know what they know that they did this to Kaido, so they have to go and fight Kaido. So I feel like he will be defeated. Whether he dies or not, that's still just up in the air. I feel like we have to know more about, or I have to know more about Kaido's powers or his devil fruit or something, because all we know right now is that he can't die seemingly. Like he tries to kill himself and he just can't. And I don't know if that's part of his devil fruit or if he's just that insanely powerful that, like, you know, jumping from like different heights or trying to cut off your own head like just doesn't work.
Yeah, there's still like a lot of unknowns in this situation. I mean, as far as we know, like, we're fucked. He's fucked. Everyone's fucked. Alright. Babe, give me a couple things you know about One Piece. Give me a theory. A One Piece theory.
Why the fuck would I know any of this?
Exactly. That's the point.
Okay.
Just give me a theory.
I don't.
Anything you absorbed from listening to this.
I don't even remember listening. Shit.
So Luffy's the main character.
Yeah.
What's he gonna do?
He's gonna find the One Piece.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
Shit.
You heard it here first.
That's my theory.
Yup. Okay.
God damn, I'm content with ending it at that.
Yeah, that's it.
That's a good one.
We're also on break next week, so we'll have another discussion episode. Have a great week, everybody, and thank you for listening. You heard it here.
Thank you.
He finds
Bye-bye.
the One Piece.
I'll be here next week too. Be here next week too. Be here next week too.